welcome to this psychic development class with the lovely Alice Heath. This is especially for our Soul Circle members. I'm really excited to bring this mini workshop class, soul session through to you. Just to introduce Alice for anyone that doesn't know her, she is a teacher of teachers, here to support you in remembering your multi-dimensional truth. Through continuous direct initiations and lived embodiment, she brings through the wisdom of ancient future lineages, having first walked each step herself. She communicates regularly with star councils and ascended realms, weaving teachers from mystery schools, crystalline consciousness, and sacred union into accessible guidance for your path of soul remembrance. Everything Alice shares is born of direct experience and energetic integration, ensuring it's not only inspired but lived. Love that.
Ooh.
Welcome so much, Alice.
Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you for having me. It's always so wonderful to connect with you and to bring anything to your audience because you inspire so many. And for those that might be maybe a little bit new to Emma, I doubt that you are because you're in her soul circle. But Emma is a very dear friend of mine and she has helped me in countless ways with her incredible gifts. So you are in very safe hands in a very, very wonderful space here with Emma. So thank you for having me on and
Thanks,
thank you
mate.
for showing up. You're welcome, mate. No problems. The Brits get British. Um, so psychic development. Shall I just roll with it for a little bit?
Just going with it. I just knew I wanted to bring through, like, obviously, at this present time, as we're
Yeah.
recording, the membership's fairly in its infancy. And I had you in mind straight away to bring through some teachings to do with psychic development because I've
Yeah.
seen you work firsthand and I know exactly how your spidey senses are. Among the best I've seen, and yeah, I've sort of been around this for a little while, so I couldn't wait to bring you in, and I trust you with whatever you want to share and bring into to the space.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, I'm just going to get cracking then because I think one of the things that I love to just debunk straight away is a myth that we are not all intuitive and we're not all psychic because we actually are. It's our innate truth, really, because when we birth ourselves into a body, when we merge with this physical body and become alive here on earth in this time, in this space, the first way that we communicate is intuitively and psychically. It's all energy. Before we can even speak, you tell your parents, you tell your mother from the womb what it is that you need, right? And this is a really important thing that we mustn't ever really negate. We have to really honor the fact that we're here in a body. And that is key for psychic development. That's key for intuition because it is through the body and through the nervous system that we actually interpret energy. So if we can really relax into that, and relax is the key word here, but if we can really relax into that, then instantly our ability opens up. So for those of you that are watching, you might be in varying stages of your application of intuition and psychic progress. So you might be someone who is very, very new, who kind of knows that it's very possible to be super intuitive and to utilize that in life. Or you may be on the complete opposite end of the spectrum where you live your life by your intuition because you are so merged with it already that it is just life. So I'm hopefully going to bring something that will cater for everyone, no matter where you're at and no matter how many times you revisit this, with a couple of fun practices that you can also do to enhance your commitment to yourself and your awakening within your psychic realms. Does that sound good?
That sounds awesome.
Okay. All right. Let's start. So this bit might be the little bit more mundane aspect, but it's got to be said because it is the foundation of psychic ability. And that is, once again, let's go back to the fact that we're here in this body. So each one of you has a body that allows you to be alive on earth, right? Learning what that body needs is so imperative to actually getting a handle and consciously working with intuition that you can't start anywhere else. And that's because the nervous system that runs through us is actually the thing that carries all the energy and interprets it without our conscious mind realizing. So, the first thing that I want to invite us all to do here is just take a moment, roll those shoulders back, just give your body a moment to just twist and relax, drop the shoulders, like loosen the hips, loosen the jaw a little bit, let the tongue just drop, you know, and just breathe into your belly just for a few breaths. So breathe in through the nose. Let's try and elongate that breath. Just hold it for a moment and relax, release it. Slow and steady. Just hold it again for a moment before breathing in again. In your own time, we're just going to do this together, all of us here. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, just for a few rounds. And whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to explain a little bit just to help your conscious mind catch up. It is really important that we can learn how to move our mind through different frequencies because the world that we're in puts our mind in a very quick pace. When we wake up, we go into this straight into this like this beta mode, this like very fast, you know, what's happening. There's lots of stimulus, things going on, phones are buzzing, electricity is running through the houses. All of this is happening and it speeds us up. But if we can learn how to relax, how to breathe in consciously, just help the body settle a little bit, what then happens is it's almost like your inner ears, your inner eyes, your inner senses start to tune in more to the subtleties that are going on around. And when we allow our nervous system and our mind to slow down through relaxing the body and breathing, what we then allow ourselves to do is become very connected with the world around us. It helps our body feel safe, and when the body feels safe, it can translate energy in a really fluid way, right? So by now, you'll have been breathing slow and steady for probably about 8 or 9 rounds. You can just, open your eyes if you've closed them and just come back to us right here. And already, I'm going to ask Emma as well, you're probably feeling a lot more relaxed, a lot more calm. Yeah.
Absolutely. I really noticed that shift into calmness and kind of felt the energy drop down into a nice space there. So yeah.
Yeah. Really good. Because the way that life kind of grooms us a little bit is to bring this energy up, up, up so high that it actually can't ground. And we need that energy to feel safe. We need energy to be able to ground. And the actual center of our being is not up here in the heart. If it's up here, then energy might start spilling out. We want to be able to bring it back down into the lower stomach, when possible, really. And that just helps everything work as it's meant to. Because when the body is feeling happy, then we have full control over it and we can actually choose to communicate in different ways. So, with that being said, if you are someone who is maybe a little bit new or maybe wishing to have more conscious control over your intuition and psychic gifts, then without a doubt, every single day, just spend a couple of minutes just breathing, right? And the ironic thing is as we progress through life and as we start to rely more and more on our intuition, people that are more versed can actually often find themselves falling out of that pattern. Yeah, me too, right? I see Emma putting her hand up.
No, I was actually going to say, Alice, that this ties in really beautifully because our theme for October within the group, I was sort of inviting, we were looking at shadows and light and stillness, and we were doing something called the silent treatment. And we were I was inviting everybody in the group just to see if they could do 10 minutes a day,
Mm.
setting a timer for 10 minutes a day and just observing and seeing throughout the month if that 10 minutes changes in any way, whether it becomes harder, whether it becomes easier, what's going on in the mind, what the body and the mind are bringing up to show them. So this flows really beautifully with that.
Oh, that is beautiful. And do you know, it alludes to something that I actually did. It was many, many, many years back, but when I was personally trying to get a handle on direct channeling, because I'm someone that's always been connected with, as we all are, I'm just going to preface it with that, but always connected with many different realms and many different dimensions. And one of the things that I do here is to be the messenger and to help bring that wisdom that we all know but forgotten back through. And when I was really trying to hone the capacity, the ability to directly channel and to be specific with who or what I was channeling and the frequency of it, it was doing that exact same practice, you know? And it was really interesting because by day 30, and it was funny because it was an Abraham Hicks thing, Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, saying, oh, you just meditate just 10, 15 minutes a day. And by the end of 30 days, you'll be directly channeling. And sure enough, it was actually Abraham that came through at the end of the 30 days, like clear as Esther channels Abraham. And that was the start of me directly channeling like all those years ago. So just a little tidbit there. It
Wow,
does work.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does. And it's really, it's come up a lot. Yeah, so the sort of theme for this month that we were working with um, was like bringing the light into the shadow, bringing the shadows into the light, but in a
Yeah.
physical sense as well, in a declutter. So we've been talking about like digital decluttering, decluttering physically, decluttering our mind from all the information. So this has been working really with it. So in order for us to actually hear our intuition, we need to create a bit of a pathway first.
And so, isn't that just a really beautiful, very simple expression of intuition right here, Emma? Is because you've asked me to speak in this month, and it just so coincides with the topic that I wanted to start with what you are actually doing with your group here, and that is one of the beautiful ways that the synchronicities of life that actually can be explained through intuition or through psychic capacity is shown in just really subtle, beautiful, harmonious ways. So that was beautiful. So we've started with breathing. You've already got that down pat. Okay. So what's next? Well, let's look at some of the basic, just briefly, because there are so many videos and courses on this, but let's look at some of the basic abilities that most people want to harness first. We have the claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and clair. What have I missed out? Hearing.
Audience, clairaudience.
Oh, that's the word. And once again, we all have the capacity to do this, but it's only when we have practiced being still enough in our day that our body isn't always in fight or flight mode. So if you're doing that meditation, if you're doing any breath work each day, then your body is naturally visiting that place of stillness. So it knows where to go, right? And because it knows where to go, then when you find yourselves in those moments, like when you're driving somewhere, when you're doing something, your body is, maybe you're cleaning or something like that, and your body's just it's occupied. Then what happens is our inner senses open up, right? So I'm just going to mention a couple of things, really easy, not going to take too much time, um, things that you can do to just open these up if you are someone watching this that wants to open up maybe your clairvoyance a little bit more. Okay. First is just close your eyes for a moment. Okay. Now, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, can you remember what I look like? You've just been watching me on a video, been watching Emma on a video. Can you remember what either one of us looks like in your mind's eye? Maybe the color of the top that I was wearing, or the background on my screen. If you can, fantastic. That right there, just in that very simple expression of utilizing the imagination, that is the same avenue that clairvoyance takes. And so, if you can imagine, your clairvoyance actually can open very, very easily. So, let's try a little bit more of an active exercise. Once again, I invite everyone to close their eyes when they do this, just so there's no distraction in the room around you. But maybe just close your eyes and imagine a balloon. Maybe it's a red balloon. Now see in your imagination, once that balloon is there, can you change the shape of it to a heart? And that red balloon now becomes a red heart-shaped balloon. Can you change the color to blue? So now it's a blue heart balloon. And just come back to us whenever you're ready. And if this is a video on which you can comment, maybe comment below if you found that very easy or not. If you found it challenging, then just take a little bit longer to practice. Do it a few days. If you found it really easy, then your clairvoyance is probably already very open and you're probably already seeing things you're just not recognizing. Or maybe you are. When it comes to clairaudience or clear hearing, that's like listening to a telephone call, right? Most of us maybe don't use the telephone anymore, maybe just voice note instead or watch videos, but let's say you're listening to my voice right now. I'm going to stop speaking in just a moment. Can you imagine what my voice sounds like? In your inner ear. Now maybe think of someone that you love. Maybe you have a partner or a parent or a child. Think of what their voice sounds like as though they've just picked up the phone to you or left you a voice note. If you can do that and you can imagine, it might not necessarily be as loud as my voice here because we're not using the outer ear, we're using the inner ear. So it might just come through your mind in a different way. It's not going to sound the same. But if that was something that you were able to do, then your clear hearing is already open, right? The more that we revisit these doors, and I'm going to call them doors like doorways, the more that you revisit the door of clear hearing and you knock on it, the more that it will open, right? And that's how it works for any of these senses. It's the same with claircognizance. We'll do that one at the end, but let's just go to clairsentience, right? When we feel something now, that's the thing that most of us actually open up first because that is, once again, that is the first sense really that we develop because by the time we're born, that's how we communicate. We feel it all. That's what the solar plexus is meant to do. It's meant to receive vibration and translate it. And that's where all your organs are. All your organs will feel these things, right? And they will tell you different things. We translate them. So what I'm going to suggest here, just at this point where we're talking about the clairsentience, is one of the biggest things, and I think maybe for many of you that might be in here, because I would take a wild guess to think that many of you may be empaths as well, is that you probably feel a lot and will have trained the body to actually do that. And that's just the world that we're in. It's a very volatile world. Whether we want to admit it or not, it's very volatile. So one of the defense mechanisms that this body creates when you are as young as being a baby is to hyperextend your energy field so that you can feel the fluctuation of other people's energy. And so because of that, we never lose that capacity. We always feel stuff. Some of us might eat a lot to numb that. Some of us might, disassociate or avoid feeling because we've always felt so much. You might have a bit of extra padding around. Yeah, some might drink as well. I see Emma do a little gesture in the air. But the thing is that we don't have to be afraid of what we're feeling, right? There's just that's something else. That's something else to work on at another time. Okay? That's not to do with your capacity to feel, that's to do with what it means, right? But what I would say is one of the things Emma asked me to mention is how you work with guides. Now, one of the very simplest and easiest ways to work with any of the guides, now, whether you see them or not, whether you know them by name, doesn't really matter. Bringing your hands to your stomach, because that's usually where we feel things, but bringing your hands to your stomach brings your body's attention and awareness there. And if you can slow your breathing down like we did at the start, and as relaxed as you can, in a relaxed capacity, especially if you're feeling a little bit antsy because of the energy, you just say, my guides are with me now, and they're protecting my energy field. Then instantly just affirming that It's almost as though you are bringing in and calling in to the point where your body instantly feels safer, because we are always surrounded. It's only by being in the body that we have this illusion of separation. Psychic ability and intuition actually only exists because we're in a physical body. Because once we're outside of that body, we're all part of the one anyway. No separation, so all acts as a collective, always balancing and harmonizing. So if we can help that body feel safe, especially if this is going to be a big one, like I say, for the empaths here that feel a lot, you know, then when the body starts to feel safer, it's not going to be fearful of when you walk into a room full of people. You're not going to feel drained because you're not going to continue to exert your energy field far and wide. You get to keep it here, right? So that's just a little bit of more spiritual hygiene than anything else. And so, one more thing. You can also use color. Color is great. What you wear or what color you want to imagine, visualize, that is always going to be an instant saving grace for anyone, because once again, those beings of light that you work with so well, they travel on those rays. It's all energy. So I'm going to take a moment here to pause and check in with my lovely friend across the screen before going into some fun games.
Alice, so you won't believe what just happened during that session. Did you see me hold my phone up?
Who called you?
So when we were talking about clairaudience, you said,
Mm,
imagine the voice of
mm,
someone that loves you.
mm.
And I heard my grandmother say my name and she just called me. And that's why I held the phone up to the screen to show you. So when we watch it back, you'll see me. It says Norma on the on the screen. She'd rang me
Oh,
at that
I love
time.
you so
I
much.
heard her voice saying Emma, yeah. And she
And
just
you know
called.
what?
So
Like
here we
she'll have
are.
felt you. She'll have felt you. She'll have heard you. And then because you've relaxed your body as well, you know that communication then. And this is how telepathic communication works.
Hmm.
That's so
Real life
beautiful.
example.
Real life
Incredible.
time, recorded as well. But that's how telepathy works, right? So, you know, there are some people that, you know, you might communicate with already telepathically. Like there's a couple of friends that I have that I can communicate telepathically with because they've just so practiced every day in being aware of the subtle energies that when you hear their
We've had
voice,
telepathic communications.
oh yeah. And that's often how it comes in, right? I mean, it's like usually you hear their voice saying your name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't have to
Incredible,
put
yeah.
more explanation to it, right? Some of us out there might be like, oh, that's because it's like this part of us, the highest sample. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
Don't over explain it. Right? We don't need to do that. Just like be present with it and then it will continue on. It's when we try to start analyzing it that we actually close it down again because we're moving our energy into a faster pace
Yeah.
again. So that's just a little tidbit that I thought I'd share as well. Emma, do you remember when we had a lovely little morning with our dear friend? Well, I think she's your friend. I was just along for the ride, which was really wonderful. But our dear friend Shirley Batty.
Yes, yes, I do. That was a fun morning, yeah.
It was. Do you remember what we did?
We were doing some telepathy.
We were.
Yeah, and we played a game.
Mm,
Yes, I remember clearly now. So we were picking her oracle cards. She's got her own deck of cards, the little owl cards.
mm.
And were you guessing the number or you were getting us to guess the
It was
number?
the other way. Yeah, it was the other way around. I had like
You were
cards.
sending the number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was sending a
Yes, I
number to
remember
each of you
now.
because I was
I
trying to
got
show
it,
you.
didn't I, as well?
You did. You did. Like everyone did. Like nearly everyone did.
Mm.
And we're going to do something a little bit similar right now. But I do just want to say before we jump into that, just because we're recording this in October, um, some of you may have noticed it's an incredibly psychic time right now.
Hmm.
Getting a little bit more like the veils are thin, as they say, as we get towards Samhain. Now, I want to introduce this concept, this really foreign concept. Things that you receive on the telepathic or psychic airwaves, they're not out to hurt you. I think it's really important to say because one of the biggest things that stops us actually developing our intuition or our psychic capacity is because our subconscious or our inner child might be a little bit afraid of what we might see or what we might hear. And this is the thing, is that you are never dealt more than you can handle, for one, in life in general. So if you're going through any hard experiences, know that you've already got through it and you've already succeeded. You never dealt anything that you haven't already dealt with on another plane or another level. But secondly, what we feed our body is what we are going to tune into. Now, when I say feed, I don't just mean food. I mean what you allow to be around you, because we pick up 80-90% of everything that makes us up by what is coming in through the audible range, through our sight. You know, if you take a picture of something with a camera phone, that camera's going to pick up absolutely everything. But if you were to just to look one way, close your eyes and look back, you wouldn't be able to describe everything there, because consciously you haven't took it in, but subconsciously you have, right? And so most of
Okay,
us,
sorry to interrupt you. I
yeah.
remembered this because in my training, when like back when I was doing NLP and hypnotherapy
Mm.
training, and I was always fascinated by the amount of data that our brain takes in a day, like bits of
Mhm.
information.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to bring up a fact.
Yes.
Um, So the human brain takes
Yes.
in an estimated 74 gigabytes of information a day from TV,
Ooh.
computers, phones. But this is only that's the data that was received like consciously.
Yeah.
Unconsciously, there is loads of other stuff that we're taking in all the time that we're not even aware of, like in our peripheral vision
Yeah.
as well. So it's an incredible piece of equipment, our brain, and like the amount of stuff that we're taking in and processing
Yeah.
without
It's
even
so
realizing.
It's so, so true. And I'm gonna offer another little kind of a different angle here as well, is that if you are someone who is genuinely really serious about developing your intuitive and psychic ability to the point of leading with it and creating big change in the world, or teaching it, or something to a higher level than maybe others might, then you really want to get serious about healing your nervous system, healing the traumas that have fractured it and fragmented it. Because the gap between the subconscious and the conscious, that gap there, like the closer it can be together, the more quick, the more intelligent, the more tuned in, the more higher the frequency. Like I invest every single week in healing my nervous system. And it's so important to do so. And it's evident then when something may occur, or when like I get to this time of year and everything gets even more psychic. And I'm already a Scorpio moon, I'm already incredibly psychic as it is. And to then see and know things that maybe I'm meant to do something with, but without having worked on healing the nervous system and continuing to do that, I might not know what to do with that information, or it might panic me or freak me out, or all these things, right? We have so much stored there, so much fracturing, and that's the beauty of life. We're meant to, because it gives us the momentum to make a choice and to drive forward with action, right? It's what helps shape our personality and our ego, our healthy ego. But also at the same time, we do want to bridge the gap and we want to heal that, because the more that you can do so, the more that all those extra bits of memory that Emma just spoke about that are there in the subconscious, that the periphery is taken in, might come in handy, you know? And when an emergency might occur, you might be there witnessing it, you might be there in the face of it, and you actually can respond in a really quick, really healthy, and really helpful way, because there isn't things blocking your nervous system, there isn't panic or fear or freeze moments stuck that hasn't yet been processed, because the body does remember it all. The body is the living subconscious, right? So if you think that, less than 10% of everything that we know is in our conscious mind, so that means like less than 1/10 of everything that we know, we can speak about, we can think about, we know about. The rest of that is stored right here in this physical body. And only when we work with the nervous system and actually go to heal that, do we actually have access to it to help it evolve and alchemize and heal. And this is a really big thing about being able to call upon your psychic gifts in a very benevolent way, you know? Make sense? Mm. Okay, you want to play a little game? A fun one? I'm looking at Emma. She's like, mm. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this live with Emma because once again, the subconscious is the one that's actually responsible for the telepathy, and psychic ability and intuition. It is the subconscious there, and it's a little bit unfair of me to go, hey Emma, let's play a game. We're going to record it, and everyone's going to watch it, whether you get it right or wrong. That's
We could
not fair.
still
So I'm
try.
actually
I don't mind.
we can. Yeah, but the point is, this is going to be for everyone as well, right?
Yeah.
So when I help people learn psychic ability, I always start with really easy things. First, we have to breathe and relax. We have to go through that whole breathing and relaxing process again. So to go back to what Emma and I had fun with at Shirley Batty's house was I had everyone relax and breathe like we did at the very beginning. And then I chose out of Shirley's deck of cards. Um, there was like 5 people there. I chose 5 cards. And I was like, okay, each one of these cards, one of them is going to be for each of you. Okay, so I was just going to choose one. I'm like, okay, this person's going to be the next person. Okay, that's the number on it. I was looking at it and I was sending it into the mind of the other person. Now, this is important because I'm going to get all of you here to do the same thing. We're going to do it 3 times. We're going to learn to do this with, we just got a deck of playing cards here. Okay, so lovely deck of playing cards. From it, I've already taken 4 cards. So we're going to guess the suit, the color and suit. That's going to be one of the games. We're going to progress that to guessing a number. And then we're going to do it with the crystal because why not bring crystals in? So the first thing that we're going to do here, so in a deck of cards, you have reds and you have blacks. Okay. So here I have 2 black queens. Is that a Lemurian? Is that Lemurian, darling? What have you got there? Is that the one I gave you? Oh, muted.
My Lemurian crystal that you gave me. Yeah. It's been on my desk. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Gorgeous.
it. I love it so much. Um, so we have 2 black queens here, and we have 2 red queens. So you've got blacks and you've got reds. Now, this is the thing to know is that when you are your brain is very, very quick, it's very intelligent. So your mind might get bored of this game and it might start picking up other things on the desk. So what we do to help the brain focus when you're receiving, because this is going to be a reception game, it's a receptivity, receiving. What we're going to do here is I'm actually going to say, okay, as you're relaxing, you're going to close your eyes. You're just going to breathe in, you're going to breathe out, and you're just going to help your body relax like we did at the beginning. But if you find your mind trying to actively guess, you will not get it because that's the wrong part of the mind. Okay? That's the part of the mind that is trying to get the answer right and prove something. That's the conscious mind. We love the conscious mind, we appreciate it, but we don't want it to be playing an active role here because it's going to block us. Right? So if you find your mind trying to jump and guess, just start tapping yourself. Tap yourself, tap your legs, just click, do something to distract your body, to distract your mind. Okay? All right. So we're just going to take a moment and in that moment, you're just going to breathe, relax, even smile. Close your eyes and put a smile on your face. Slow that breathing down a little bit. Let your heart fill with love, fill with joy. Just relax, relax, relax. There is nothing that your mind needs to do right now. There's nothing that your body needs to do right now. The only job is just to breathe and relax. Now, you're going to keep your eyes closed and you're going to carry on listening to me talk. And after we've done this whole thing, you can watch the replay back and you'll see in real time. But for right now, keep your eyes closed. So on the screen, I have 2 hands. One of them is black, one of them is red. You can't see that just yet, but what's going to happen is I'm going to put one of them down to only have one color in front of me. And then I'm going to send that color through the screen to you watching this. And all you're going to do is you're just going to breathe You're just going to relax. You're going to tap your body if you feel like your mind is trying to guess. And you're just going to thank it if it does and say, you can just relax, mind. Okay. So just breathe and relax. Now, the way that it works when someone is sending you something telepathically is it's going to appear in your mind's eye, in your subtle senses. You might hear it, you might feel it, you might know it, you might see it. It might be instant, it might not. Just relax. Now, out of those 4 queens that I had in front of me, I have 2 that both have this same color suit. And I'm going to send it to you now. And you're just going to breathe. You're going to relax. There is nothing that your mind needs to do. You're just going to wait until you have a sense or a feeling, or even if you see which suit it is, which color. We're looking for the color. I'm actually going to hold the card up. You can't see the suit on it here, but I'm going to hold it up to the screen. And for some of you that are maybe a little bit more advanced, you might choose to throw your consciousness out to this card to feel it. Okay, so pause the video here if you need to, if you haven't got a suit or a color yet. And if you have, and you are ready to see what it was, I'm going to show you. What I had up was the blacks. So on the front was the club. So I'm just going to ask Emma to unmute her because she's celebrating a little bit here. Emma, why are you celebrating?
Because I got it right. And I was just about to write in the chat what I thought it was, and then I thought, no, I'm supposed to be just practicing. It's not all about me. But but I'm all excited because I got it right. Yeah, Queen of Clubs.
Well done. How did it come through to you? How did you know it was black?
So it was really interesting, that practice, because I initially was like, it's black, it's a black queen. And then my brain just got involved, and then I could almost visualize and hear you saying it's red. And I realized that I was creating that in my mind. So I did tapped my legs and just dropped out of the mind, and then was just relaxed deeper and deeper, and was just asking not to think of the answer. It's like, I'm not going to think of the
Yeah.
answer. And then I saw it in my mind. I saw the Queen of Clubs.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
I love it.
I knew
I love it.
it was.
Well done. Well done, you. If you guys are watching this in the replay in this comments section, write in the comments if you did get that it was black, write what it felt like to you, what it looked like to you, write your experience down, because I think it's also good for others to see. And if you didn't get it, don't worry. It's not, we don't want ever to kind of tell ourselves, oh, we got it wrong, because
No,
that
it's
actually
not right or
creates
wrong.
more.
No.
It's not quite wrong. It's that it wasn't focused where it needed to be to get it in that moment. There was still red right next to it. The red was still just right here. It was only like a foot away, right? So sometimes the mind doesn't exactly know how to land where it needs to land. Sometimes if there's more things on the desk, which this desk is full of crystals. So when we do the crystal bit, it might get a little bit interesting if your brain is already bored by them. Can I tell you something that was really funny?
Yeah.
Is that I heard your mind go, oh, it's red. And I literally said in my mind, I was like, no, Emma, it's not red, it's black.
It was really strange. I just noticed that I was trying to create the story of you saying it was red. It was really, really strange. And then and it kind of came from the back of my head. That's when I do a lot of readings, and some of the stuff that comes in, it kind of comes from the back of my head, and the picture came from the back. It didn't come from the third eye, the mind's eye. It came from like the back.
There's an advanced practice of clairvoyance, which is where you are seeing in real time. and it's you know, like blindfolded seeing. Um, like it's linked with remote viewing and astral projection, things like that. And when I practice that, it's so funny because you'd think that because you're using the pineal gland really, that it would come from here, but it's actually really bizarre because it's like you can't place it because it's like a surround virtual reality is how you actually start to see when you're not using your eyes, when you're using your thing. So it's fascinating because it's like you're trying to place where that's actually happening.
Yeah.
It's
And I
quite bizarre.
also wonder, that brought to mind, I had like a little vision there of the people that do I think it's called sky retreats when they go into darkness for three
Yes,
days with the
yes,
blindfolds on,
yes.
and then they
I'm
come
on a list.
out. Sorry.
I'm on a list for that.
Oh my gosh, I love watching. I watch it on their page, on their social media
Oh,
page, the people's reactions when they come out, because they always get overwhelmed with emotion, don't they, at the sight
yeah.
of everything. But I
Mm,
wonder how their senses
mm.
really ramp up and are heightened, and what that experience is, and what
Ah,
information they are bringing through without
it's got to
using
be
their
so much.
eyes.
It's got to
Mm.
be so much because like when we do seeing blindfolded, obviously you have a blindfold on. So like one of the things that you do to help your pineal open even more is, you know, you actually go to bed with the mask on and you wake up with it and it's a complete blackout mask, you know, and but
It's
it's
just
like
given
it's
me a
even
really good idea for my next retreat, actually.
do it, do it, do it,
The
do it.
blindfolded, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
and the mindfold ones are the best, I think,
Yeah,
mindfold masks. They're about 25 quid, but
yeah.
they completely black everything out because of how they're shaped.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, it's even like when I'm doing the breatharian stuff, because I'm not consuming physical food, you know, it's like everything is so heightened to the point where it's like telekinesis very easy. Like
Yeah.
when I'm not eating or drinking or anything like that, it's
Just to
like
bring that in for the audience as well, to whomever's listening, Alice has done, I don't know, you've done it a few times since I've known you, maybe twice since I've
mm,
known you, where she does a fasting, but a breatharian fast, so
mm,
she doesn't have anything. So she cuts out food for a certain amount, then it's just on juices, then it's just water, and then it's nothing for a certain
mm,
amount of time.
mm,
But it's
yeah.
always fascinating to see that process and how you do that.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's
And
for
she
another
still
time.
trains kickboxing as well.
It's literally
She still
it's
turns
literally
up to our
like
kickboxing class, literally on fresh air.
everyone's like, go and have a drink, and I'm just like so laughter is really good for intuition and psychic stuff. So this is good because I'm gonna go on. This leads us to our next game. We've got a couple of minutes, I think, that I can carry on. Is that right, Emma? We've got a
That's
bit
fine,
longer.
yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to progress the game. So rather than it just being reds and blacks, I'm going to have numbers. So I have numbers 1 through 5 here. Okay. So these are all red cards. I have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're all laid out in front of me. One of the cards I'm going to pick up, and just like I did with the other one, I'm going to hold it up to the screen so your mind can project out there if it wants to. But the idea is that you're going to relax. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to breathe. And if your body or your mind gets a little bit kind of, you know, trying to figure it out, just tap your body, or smile, or do something that's going to distract it. This is a really helpful tool to use when we're trying to just drop into that subconscious aspect, that receptivity, you know. So I will tell you when I've chosen a number and when I'm sending it. But for right now, just settle your energy back down, breathing in, breathing out. Hmm. All is well in the world. There's just this right now moment. All is beautiful and well. Okay. So out of those 5 cards, they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This card that I'm holding up to the screen, I'm sending out to you all now. So just breathe. There is nothing that your mind needs to do. It doesn't need to figure it out. It doesn't need to find it. All you need to do is breathe, relax, and the number will come to you. It's a red card. And just breathe and relax. There is no time limit here. There is nothing that your mind needs to do. The only job is just to relax. For those of you that might need a little bit longer, just pause the video here for as long as you need, because I'm going to reveal the card in just a moment. So, once again, make sure that you allow your body to relax, tap it if you need to, but the number that was being sent, yeah, you got it, Emma.
I put
Yeah,
it in the chat.
yeah, I saw it. Oh, she's so happy. Look at her. Oh, it's a good job they've got like a psychic running the show, isn't it? It's good to have a psychic as a tarot reader as well. I'm creating tarot courses. At least you know it's legit.
That was so cool. And my mind got really involved there because I've had a weird relationship with the number three. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing the tree a lot. It follows me everywhere. So my mind got involved and I was like, it's four. And I was having this argument and it kept changing. My mind was like 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. So I
Do you know
really
what I
tried to
heard in my
think my
head?
way out of it.
Do you know what I heard in my head? I heard your like part of your mind go, she's not going to have chosen a 3. She knows it's my number. I heard that just before
Wow.
the end. Oh gosh. Okay, so well done for those of you that got the number 3. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Once again, it's a refinement. Your mind might have gone to different cards on the table. It's just about helping your mind interpret and translate the energy, right? Because remember, you've had a lifetime of translating energy through your eyes, right? You've had a lifetime of that. You've had a lifetime of translating it through your ears, right? But remember that this is enclosed. It's an enclosed space inside there, inside the head, the skull. It's an enclosed space, you know? So it's not that it's going in and it's going, that's not what's happening. It's translating it, right? The nervous system, the body, everything's translating energy. So just keep that in mind. It might kind of help things open up. Do we have time for one more game, Emma?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah. Go
All right.
on then.
Let's
You
move
can,
away
yeah,
from the
take as
card.
long as you need to. That's fine. I'm sure, yeah, it's absolutely fine. Go ahead.
Now, this game is going to be maybe a little bit more tricky, but for those of you that your minds are already kind of getting a bit bored with the cards, this is for those of you who maybe have practiced a bit more, a little bit more advanced here. That's not to say beginners won't get it, because actually you probably will as well. But we're going to play with a crystal now. Now, crystals have their own life force energy in their own right. Anyway, that's why when you wear a crystal, when you work with a crystal, when one is in your room, that you feel the impact of it because it's got its own energy field. It's its own sentient being. For those of you that maybe have not visited my website before, I have a massive crystal section. Have a little nosy. It's great on there. But for right now in front of me, I have a desk full of them. There's well over 100 crystals right here, but I'm going to select just a few and I'm going to bring them out to the front. And these are all different shapes, different colors, and different crystals. Okay. And so we might choose maybe 3 of these. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hold the crystal behind my hand. Now, once again, maybe I'll take the ring off. I'll take the crystals off my actual hand that I'm going to hold up. Okay. So I'm going to hold the crystal behind this hand. Okay. I'm going to run through, I'm going to tell you what the color options are and what the shape options are. And then I want you to try and see if you can hear or feel or know what each one is. So we're going to start with this one right here. This is a really beautiful crystal. I'm holding it. It's in my hand, right in front of the screen here. So first I'm going to run through the options of shapes that we have. So we have, choose from one of these, see which one you're called to. Actually, before I do this, if you want to pause it here, for those that are more advanced, if you want to see if you can just guess and feel the shape and the color, I'm going to send it you all right now. So just breathe and relax. Pause the video here if you want to for a little bit longer. Okay. All right, for those of you that would like a little bit more assistance, I'm going to go through the shapes now. So the following shapes is one of these. There is a unicorn, a dragon, a heart, an ankh, and a skull. 5 different shapes. What is the one that I'm holding? What shape? I'm going to send it through the camera right now. Just breathe, relax, let your body relax. Tap your body if your mind gets a little bit chatty. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you the color options that we have. There is blue, pink, purple, clear, and brown. Blue, pink, purple, clear, and brown. I'm going to send the color through the screen right now. Just let your mind relax. Let your body relax. There's no right or wrong answer here, really. But you want it to send your mind, your energy to what I'm holding in this hand, my left hand on the screen. What is in my hand? And I'm going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. So we have a blue heart crystal. So I'm curious, now that was a little bit, well, much more advanced than just choosing a number or a suit or a color on a card. If anyone watching this got the shape, share. If you got the color, share. If you got both, share. And if you didn't, also share. It's good to see that you're not going to get it right every time. The amount of practice it might take might be a lot, right? And that's normal. That's normal. How'd you do, Emma?
So I got the shape,
Yippee!
but I had written down green heart. I wrote green,
Ooh,
yeah. But then I had that in my head from the get-go. It was a green heart, and then you
yeah.
didn't read out the color green, and I was like, I'm wrong. But then I was
And
like, it's not far off, but it wasn't green.
it's
I
not.
got the
It's
shape.
not far off. It's not far. And there is a green
You
crystal
get half
right.
a point.
You do no, but that's really good though. That's really really good because the thing is as well is like as soon as we kind of hear ourselves going, "Oh, I'm wrong," usually that's enough to block us then,
Yeah, and
right?
also what I noticed is before you said
Mm,
what the shapes were, so you had it in your hand before you
yeah.
said what shapes, I already thought green heart, and in my
Mm.
head it was like a jade stone green, and the
Ooh.
shape of a heart.
Uh, Next
But
to have Jade Talisman right next to it.
okay. Well,
Mm.
but then you read out the options of the shapes, and that's my brain kicked in then. I was like, no, it's not, it's an ankh, it's an ankh. And then I was like, no, I'm going to not change my mind. I'm going back to the original one. So it shows how the logical mind,
Mm.
when you're then presented with options, and I am, I've struggled with making decisions forever. I've always found it quite hard to make a decision. And I kind of knew it, and then as soon as you gave the options, I was like, no, it's not. And I was going through ding, 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 all the different shapes. It's a mermaid. No, it's not. Then I said, I'm just going to go with the original one, so green heart. But yeah, also I'd love to know the people that are watching this back as well, how they get on with it. So be interested to
Absolutely.
see.
So for those of you that got the blue heart, once again, crystals are a little bit more tricky because they have their own energy field. And especially when you are, like your brain gets bored after a couple of tries. And it's okay to say that because the brain is this super, super, super computer. And we don't use it to the capacity that it wants to be used for, really. So when you've done like one game, oh, guess the color, oh, guess the number, the brain's kind of like, is this it? I'm bored now. But the thing is, it's like a muscle. If you practice it more and more, what happens is it just becomes part of who you are. And the more that you are practicing something, even if it's just for a minute or two a day, the beauty is that because it then becomes so natural to you, you are able then to consciously employ telepathy, consciously employ intuition, receive information about an item, a person, a thing you might hear when your friend might not be doing so well, or when they might really just need that phone call from you, or you know, you might hear those things or feel those things intuitively. It's a muscle that we grow, that we stretch, that we, practice with. But it is natural and innate to everyone that we are connected in this way. And so for right now, I'll probably say that's probably enough for this one. Maybe we can do another call like a few months down the line or something where we do a little bit more advanced, like astral projection, remote viewing, or seeing blindfolded or something like that, or even like some of the kinesises. But for right now, I think it's a really good amount of of choice to kind of snack on intuitively. What do you think?
Yeah, I really love that, Alice. Thank you so much. It is
Oh,
lovely to hear you talk, and your way of explaining things is really beautiful to listen to. So
thank you.
really thought-provoking and inspiring. It's just, a lot of my passion and, sort of with the practical side of stuff that I like to do with the coaching and like with the hypnotherapy and, the practical sort of more grounded stuff is really entwined with that next step of then opening your intuitions. Once we've,
Mhm.
like you were saying, once we've calmed the nervous system and once we're out of fight or flight response, then we can really hear the information that's coming through without that filter or fear that's coming in. And it really
About the
helps us
narrative,
to,
all right.
yeah, and it
You know?
helps us
Yeah,
to hear our own voice, not everybody else's voice, or the voice of our,
exactly.
our caregivers or people that we were frightened of, or we can really detach from that and hear our own voice, and it gets louder and louder. It's really interesting to know how people start to recognize how intuition is showing up in their body, whether it's, whether it's when it's just decision making, whether it's like they go with their initial response, or whether they think about it and sit with the body and then listen, like we were doing the psychic activities there, or whether you're trying to make a decision, because this is how it's going to be most helpful for us. Obviously,
Yeah.
when we're in space holding capacity, when we're caring for others and we're in our roles as healers or coaches or therapists or just as friends and family, to be able to tune into what the information that's coming through from another person, despite what they're saying, can help us in so many ways, but also to help us make clear choices in life. So it's all linked, and it's can feel so complicated and so simple at the same time. So it's been lovely for you to share this. I've loved it. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's been a pleasure, like I say, and yeah, you're welcome to reach out.
Yes.
You know, to reach
Yeah,
out.
for anybody that doesn't know who Alice is, she has a page, Aligned Presence,
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram and Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and also Essential Crystals of the One True Heart. So you've got the crystal business that you are so
Mhm.
passionate and so knowledgeable about. Anything, anybody that knows anything about crystals, like literally Alice knows everything there is to know about crystals. It's like Aladdin's cave in Alice's house as
Mm,
well. And I've got
yeah.
loads of my beautiful crystals from Alice, and she works so beautifully with them, as well as doing some amazing, I've witnessed Alice doing some amazing channeling. She also guides people in business and spiritual development. So yeah, definitely have a look at aliceheath.com and her socials too, or drop her an email or through the app as well if you want to ask any questions about this particular class.
Yeah.
Just comment on it underneath, and Alice can answer.
I'll see it.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Take care. Thank
Bye for
you.
now.